What's up, bro? I'm not claiming that I have the coolest life. I'm not claiming that I'm an expert at anything, but I did learn how to go from a really bad point in my life to a much better spot. Basically, from going to a complete loser to building up a lot more value and making something of myself. So, in this video, I'm going to teach you how to stop being a loser and the first things you really need to do to get out of that rut and how to stop being a loser and get yourself on the right track again. If you didn't know, I used to be a fucking loser, and I'm not perfect now, but I've gone from a much better spot. I used to be like the kind of like laughing stock of the friend group. I was made fun of a lot for different reasons. I was almost socially inept, basically retarded. I would spend like 8 hours per day playing video games. I would get home after school. I'd feel like shit because people made fun of me. I'd go play video games, then I'd go fap, then I'd scroll on social media, eat junk food, repeat every single fucking day. And it was to a certain point where I was so depressed I didn't really feel anything anymore, and I was just an absolute loser and I had nothing going for me. So if you're in this situation right now, we've got some work to do, but I want you to know that I'm here to help you fucking change your life, and it's definitely possible. It's going to take some work on your end, but I'm here to help you, give you some guidance. So this is going to be the first steps you really need to take to get out of this spot. So there's no quick fix to becoming a better man, and you're probably trying to think of all these shortcuts because you realize it's going to be a little bit difficult. But let me just tell you, taking the real route, the slow route, will actually be a little bit faster than trying to cut corners, because that's going to make you do a bunch of mistakes and waste your time in the long run. Accountability. So right now you need to be 100% accountable for the situation that you're in. And you might be kind of feeling a little bit angry about this or trying to cope in some sort of way. Try to ignore that part of your brain, and no matter what it is, just be accountable for your life. You're depressed, it's your fault. You're broke, it's your fault. You have no girlfriend, it's your fault. You're suicidal, it's your fault. It sounds like super extreme. I know it sounds so extreme, and you probably think it's stupid, but let me just tell you, when you're accountable for almost everything, that means you have the power to change yourself. If you're 100% accountable for the situation you're in, that gives you the power to change your own life. So right now, just figure out whatever situation you're in, even if it's not that bad, there's probably something that you could do better at. And just be accountable for that. Just say it's your fault, but that's okay because now you have the power to change it. This is the first step because no one's going to help us, and we need to take this action ourselves. Even if it seems a little weird or stupid, ignore that. Your brain isn't helping you right now. Your brain is what got you in a bad place. So just try to follow this advice. It'll help you in the long term. Trust me, bro. Number 2 is lifestyle and habits. So now that you're accountable for the situation you're in, that means you need to change your actions, because your actions are what put you in this place. Your input will affect your output. And this is super simple. If you input better things into your life, like better habits, better content, better thoughts in your head, then your output will be better. And if you put negative things in, like drugs, porn, social media, junk food, negative thoughts, depressive thoughts, then your output will be worse. So right now, we need to quit these bad habits. All these bad habits are bad inputs will result in the output, which is kind of a losery, shitty life. So right now, without question, you need to quit these 4 things. So social media, porn, video games, and junk food, and drugs if you do them. All these do is they take your energy away. And what do I mean by this? So as people, one of our main things is energy. We have energy inside of us, and this is what makes us alive, right? All these things suck that away, and by doing all these things, you're leaving like yourself as a shell of yourself. That's why there's so many depressed people in this world, because there's so many distractions that suck our energy out. And that's why so many people seem like NPCs. So you need to cut these out. And another reason why I need to cut these out is because that is the shitty input, which will result in the lame output, which is a losery life. So you need to quit these right away and as soon as possible. And you probably have these thoughts coming in because you know it's going to be extremely difficult, like, oh, video games aren't that bad, or I'll just scroll on social media, it's not that big of a deal, or I'll just, a little bit of porn's okay, it's all right, it's natural, right? Once again, all these things, like these quick dopamines, are sucking out your energy, which is what makes you feel depressed and unmotivated. So if you want to still feel like that, then keep doing these bad habits, but trust me, once you quit these, you will feel much more alive and your brain will start working again. So when those thoughts come in, right now it's extremely important that you do not listen to your brain. So what do I mean by that? So your brain right now is what puts you in this situation that you're in, right? We're accountable for this. So your brain is what put you in this situation you're in. Your brain made these decisions, your brain made these thoughts, and it put you in this situation. So for the first couple months, you need to completely ignore your brain, because your brain isn't as good as you think. It's probably a little bit fried, just like how mine was. It's still a little bit fried from all these social medias and stuff. So you can't listen to your brain. You need to listen to someone else smarter than you that's in the situation that you want to be. Because when you're listening to what they tell you to do, you're putting in the inputs that they use to result in their output. So take some of the information from people that you want to be like, people that have some things that they've achieved that you want to achieve, and just listen to them. Put your ego aside for right now. Don't listen to your brain. You're probably not as smart as you think. I'm a fucking dumbass. You probably are too. It's all good. Listen to people that are smarter than you and get better inputs that'll result in better outputs. Alright, friend groups. This one's kind of tricky, and this is a difficult one. So your friends are probably not your real friends, and they might be, but chances are if you're watching this, you probably have some friends or people you hang out with that aren't really friends because of you. They're just using you for some reason. If you ever told your friends, hey, want to do some push-ups and start getting jacked, or hey, I have this business idea, we want to try and start some businesses, or like, I don't know, anything like kind of about bettering yourself or doing a challenge, and they start making fun of you, like, oh, look at him, he's going to the gym, that's so gay, he's not playing video games anymore. They're probably not your real friends, because real friends will uplift each other and try to better themselves as a group, and fake friends won't do that. They'll make fun of you and try to pull you back down to their low, lame spot. So if you want to improve, you got to stay away from those people, because they're just going to hold you in that spot. So if you have people like that in your life, try to distance yourself from them. You don't need to be mean or hostile. Just slowly distance yourself away from them and stop hanging out with them, because you're just going to make your life worse. So why is it so bad to hang out with like other losers? So one of the reasons why is because usually when you try to get people in self-improvement, they don't do it. They need to find it themselves. So you can mention it, but it probably won't work. You can try. But the other reason is you're actually the average of the 5 closest people you hang out with. So what does this mean? So basically the way you act, the way you speak, the way you think is usually the average of the 5 people you hang out with. And I also think it's also the average of the media and like books you read and that kind of stuff. So that means if you're hanging out with losers, you're going to pick up more losery traits. If you hang out with drug addicts, you're probably going to do drugs. If you hang out with people that go to the gym, you're probably going to go to the gym. That makes sense, right? So it's important to surround yourself with other driven people if you want to get out of this spot. You're probably not going to get out of this spot if you stay with the same people who are in this low spot that you want to leave. So sadly, bro, you'll realize that self-improvement can be kind of lonely, and it's hard to find other like-minded people that are as driven as you, right? So I'm going to sound kind of like a dick saying this, but if you subscribe, this will actually really help, because it'll make self-improvement a little bit bigger, and I'm looking to kind of create some sort of community or group for free where we can all hold each other accountable. We can meet other people on self-improvement, and we can do like daily challenges and stuff online. Something pretty cool like that. So if you think that sounds cool, you can subscribe. I'll get back to the video. Okay, bro, so we dove into mental health a little bit earlier, but let's dive a little deeper into it a little bit more right now. So for you to improve yourself properly, you need to get your mental health prioritized. Chances are that your mental health is fucked and you're probably thinking of some dark stuff, or your brain is just always distracted. I know mine was like, I would try to work and I would just think about like so many random things all at once, and I get burnt out. Or I would just think of some dark stuff like beating up random people. So you need to improve your mental health, because you don't want to have like a stupid like scattered brain. Okay, so what are some things we can actually do to improve our mental health pretty easily? I've made a lot of videos on it, but here are the main things that you can do that'll get you like pretty quick results. So number 1 is meditating 10 minutes per day. What this helps you with is it helps you be a lot more present in the moment, which just means that you can focus on things a lot better, have a lot less intrusive thoughts, and just feel a little bit more natural and like less awkward as a person. So highly recommend it. Definitely works. It takes a little bit of practice to figure out how to do it correctly, but just try to do it like 10 minutes per day every morning. And that kind of does the same thing as NoFap, so just avoiding like porn and like masturbation really helps with just clearing up your brain. So this one's kind of interesting, and this is shooting for very big goals and aspirations, but also being grateful at the same time. So A lot of times it's kind of easy to get caught up in success and material success, and we end up like not appreciating the small things. So it's pretty easy to balance this. So I got some pretty big goals on my wall, like this right there, like make 10K a month, get 3,000 subscribers, blah blah blah, you know. And these are pretty solid goals, they're pretty big goals. I think about them all the time. They're kind of material, but I also appreciate the little things, like my pocket knife. I like this thing, it's awesome, does the job. Like this pen's pretty cool, does the job. Go outside, just go on a walk and find a leaf that you like. Like just literally, bro, an easy way to practice this is just to like find a cool leaf and send it to a friend. Be like, yo, I like this leaf. Set some big goals so you have some sort of drive and reason to live throughout the day, and also practice gratitude at the same time. Another way you can do this is just to spend like 10 minutes per day writing down as many things as you possibly can that you're grateful for. Another great thing is doing challenging things. So basically I think of it as like mental gains. So when you lift weights, you tear the muscle fibers and they grow back stronger. I think of your brain similarly like that. And it probably doesn't work like that, but your mental health gains are similar. So this could just be trying new things. So right now your brain's probably kind of a little bitch. So right now, just do some push-ups. You probably don't want to, but just do them anyways. You could also just like approach some random girl. You don't want to, but you do it anyways. Just get sales. Like you're scared to knock on doors and get sales, just do it. Anything that you're kind of scared of, just do it anyways, and that'll make you grow a lot more as a person. I kind of went on a yapping rant, but right now, get a piece of paper and make a habit tracker. So just put a few things that you want to do every single day. Like it could be meditate, read for 30 minutes, and journal. And just make a checkbox on your wall and try to check it off every single day. If you don't, then just give yourself a punishment. It could be like a cold shower or like 50 push-ups, and just try to do it every single day. And this seems a little bit lame, right? But think about the guy. It's his first time at the gym. He's not going to lift 405. So this is the same with you. You're not going to be making these crazy daily things you do every single day and have crazy discipline. So just do a few small things every single day, and then you can scale up from that and, you know, improve further. Monk mode. So monk mode is basically a period of time where you cut out almost all bad habits, sugars, and you live like a monk. You live super simple. And this is basically rewiring your brain to be a lot more disciplined. And this is super important because your brain is fried right now. So to unfuck your life, I recommend living an almost militaristic routine. So you don't have to live like this forever, but do this for around a year. So this is going to be extremely hard for like 6 to 12 months, but having this grind period where you're just like working super hard will change your life forever. So for this 6 to 12 months, you're going to be doing the same habits every single day. So avoiding almost all stimulants, like working out in some way every single day, wake up early every day. We aren't going to live like this forever, but we're just trying to reprogram our reward system, make our brain stronger, improve discipline, and build new skills, which is all extremely important for going from a loser to like a Giga Chad. Okay, so this is probably the most important section of the video, and this is finding your purpose. So your purpose is what makes a man, and you should put your purpose above almost everything. If you live life without a purpose, you're just living life for no reason, and a life with a purpose is awesome, and you have a reason to wake up every morning. You do a lot more things. You have some sort of direction in your life. This is what we need. How do we find purpose? Like, how do we find this mysterious thing? So step one, give yourself 1, 2, 3, or even 4 days completely alone. So what I want you to do is take all distractions out. So what we're doing is we're gonna stay away from all friends, all people, all social media, like 0 social media, no technology, and no books. Literally absolutely nothing. So this sounds extreme, right? But let me just explain. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to take out all the other influence in the world that might influence us to think differently. We're gonna try and find our purpose, what we really want out of life. Because sometimes you think you know what you want out of life, but it's just what other people tell you or your parents tell you. So we need to spend this period of time truly thinking about what we want. And you don't need to force it, you don't need to think of it instantly. Just sit alone, stare at your wall, and just start thinking, like, what do you want out of life? What are you naturally good at? What do you think you can help the world with? And while you're doing this, just get a piece of paper out and start writing down. Just write down any sort of thoughts. Get them down on paper. Just spend some time. Just have the discipline to spend some time and think about it. This sounds weird, but it's extremely important that you figure out what your purpose is. Another good way to find your purpose is to look back when you were 4, 5, or 6 years old. So why this? So this is a time when we're not so influenced by the world and told what to do. This is when we have like more genuine dreams of what we want to do. So look back and think about what you're good at. Maybe you were naturally just attracted to numbers and sequences. Maybe you liked words and just how they worked. Maybe you were just always into like a certain sport. And then these things tend to go away because we're told to do boring things like, oh, just get this job and like have a steady like job that's in an office. So think about your younger self and then just ask people, like ask your parents, like what were you naturally inclined with when you were younger? Just think about like something you're probably naturally good at or just naturally drawn to when you're younger. Now look at that now and just try to like frame it in your head and think about what you could do with it now. And start looking into things related to that. And you'll probably start finding something that you like doing and something that you can actually go far with because you care about it. So a quick reminder is you don't need to have your whole purpose like figured out, your whole life mission figured out, everything's laid out and you got everything figured out, right? Try to think of your purpose as an onion or something with a lot of layers. So there's purpose layers, which is like the layers of an onion, and every time you achieve one of those things, you peel it back and it gets closer to the core purpose, which is like your real life's purpose. So the first layer could be like, oh, I want to get an aesthetic body and get jacked, you know? And then once you achieve that, you peel it back and you find the next thing you want to achieve. And then the next thing and the next thing. And every time you do this, you get closer to the core purpose. So right now it could just be a simple goal like, I want to make some more money to help my family out, or I want to improve my looks, or I want to lose fat, anything like that. Or I don't know, I want to start this project, I want to start this movement, whatever it is. Just start off with something small. It doesn't have to be huge. Just any sort of goal that you want to move towards, that could be your purpose for now. And every time you achieve that, you peel back the next layer. So just give yourself some goals and give yourself a time frame to achieve them and destroy those goals. So another quick tip is don't give yourself too many goals. So just write down on a piece of paper some goals you want, like 10, right? Then choose 3 of the most meaningful ones to you and then cross out all the other ones and just stick to those 3. It's even better if you just have one because you're putting your focus into one thing. So the last one is trying new things, and this is kind of like a little bonus. So right now is kind of the testing phase of really finding out what we want to do. We're just trying to get ourselves out there. We're trying to break the rhythm of just being stuck in your room doing the same thing every day, being a loser. We're just trying to break that pattern. So an easy way to do this is just to start trying new shit. So literally find anything that kind of just clicks in your head and you think is interesting and give it a try. So for me, I kind of thought jiu-jitsu was interesting, you know, like fighting and stuff. I didn't really care much about it, but I tried it and now I have a new thing I like doing. And you know, you could take this super seriously and make it your purpose, and this could be pretty much everything or anything. So another thing was also I learned about wildland firefighting. So these guys just go in the middle of the forest and fight fires, and it's super dangerous. But I thought it was kind of cool, so I joined a program, and now like that I'm learning more about it, it's really interesting, and I'm gonna start going to academies. So just try new shit, try new things that you think are sort of interesting, and just give it a try, because this is gonna help you open up to find out what you want and what you don't want. So just do that. Don't be a little bitch. Just try some things, right? Write them down. Do it right now, actually. It's like, I'm just gonna do it too. Write down some stuff you want to try. So I'm sick. I just wrote some pretty quick ones that just appeared in my head. So one was just start an entrepreneur club at my college. I think that'd be pretty cool, creating a network of people that want to start businesses and share ideas. Another one that I got is just do an MMA fight. So I already do some combat sports, but actually get in like a full like fight in a backyard, like street beef style. And then the last one is just playing drums. So you know, I play guitar, but why not learn how to play drums? So with these things, just try them out. You might find something new that you like. So literally just turn your brain off. Remember, don't trust your brain and just try these things out. So these are pretty much all the things that I did to go from a super low spot to a better spot. So when I get 200 subs, I'm going to be coming out with something pretty cool. It's going to be 100% free, and I think it's going to be awesome, and it could really change your life and my life too. So it's going to take a lot of time to build and really figure out how it's going to work, but I think it's going to be pretty cool, so stick around and wait for it. I'll make an announcement on YouTube. And other than that, put action to these steps. Don't be a little bitch, and have a good day.